Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Ugh, it's an awkward hi. So today I'm going to be showing you another makeup tutorial, again using the Vice 3 palette. I cannot get enough of this palette, absolutely love it. But I wanted to show you this tutorial because I wore this look to work the other day and I got so many compliments on my eyeshadow and everybody's asking me how I did it and all of that fun stuff, so I decided to go ahead and film a tutorial on how I did it. It's a really fun dark burgundy smoky eye, so it's a little bit more, it's a little bit different as opposed to your typical just, black or brown smoky eye. And I think it's just really fun. You can pair it with a lot of different things. Really just keep everything else neutral. So in this video I am testing out a few new brushes. Let me get them. So just a little confession, I have never tried any cosmetics from BH Cosmetics, although I've heard very good things about them. I have just never had the opportunity or the chance. I just never ordered anything from there. But I did see the other day on Instagram they were having this flash sale on their brushes, and it was like a set of 10 brushes for 16 some dollars, which I thought was incredible. And it was for a limited time, like only for a few days. So I think it was like a 48-hour sale or something like that. So I decided to take advantage of it because 10 brushes for $16. Now I know they are not like real hair brushes or anything like that. I was totally aware of that, but I wanted to see what kind of quality brushes they were offering at that price, because to me that is like a super good deal. So I got the 10-piece set. They came in the mail today and it was like perfect timing because I was going to film this video anyway. So I am using these brushes within this tutorial. So if you see me with like all these similar looking brushes, that's why. But other than that, I think that wraps up this intro. Yeah, let's just get into it now. Hey guys. Okay, so first I'm just gonna move this mess of a hair out of our way because yeah, we don't want that getting all in our face. So I'm first going to be priming my eyelids with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. This is in the shade NW15. Just a little warning, do not use this much. I put a little bit too much on my brush, so I'm going to go back in and smooth out the product with my finger and just kind of pick up and remove any excess product I may have placed. So I'm first going to be going in with this light peachy color. This is from the Stila in the No palette, as you guys have seen it before because I use it in almost every makeup look. This is the shade Desert. I am just taking that on a fluffy brush and just making sure I work that well into our crease. And then next I am taking my L'Oreal Voluminous Smoldering Eyeliner. It is just a very thick Kajal eyeliner pencil, and I'm going to be placing this all over our entire lid and a little bit up into the crease. You don't have to be neat with this because, as always, we're going to go back in with a brush and just kind of smooth it over and even it out. But just make sure you get it nice and opaque and you have enough covering your lid. This is again going to kind of act as a primer for the shadows we're going to be placing on top of it, and it's also going to help the colors pop. So here you can see I am just taking a smudge brush and just smoothing over those edges, especially in the crease, because you don't want to see any harsh lines when we go back in and start blending out whatever eyeshadows we place over on top of it. And yeah, just make sure you get that other eye as well too. And just a fair warning, this look looks a little crazy at first, but trust me, it's going to get better. So then I'm taking a dark matte brown shadow, and this is Rich Chocolate from the Bobbi Brown Rich Chocolate Eye Palette. And you just want to be packing this over on top of the eyeliner. Then going in with the shade Bondage from the Vice 3 palette, you're going to be laying this all over on top of the black and brown shadow. And then we're going in with the color Sonic, which is that beautiful maroon copper color. And this whole layering of colors is what's going to give our eye such dimension. And this one's going to make it pop and kind of make it a little bit different than your typical smoky eye. It's going to make the center bright, which makes your eyes appear larger. Then going in back with the shade Fire from the Stila in the No palette, I'm going to be taking this and just buffing this into my crease, just making sure we have no harsh lines. It is a big contrast from the lid up into the crease and brow bone, but we don't want to see that very defined line. And if you have any fallout, just wipe away with your finger. It should be easy enough, especially if you had just moisturized before. And then going in with the smaller crease brush and just kind of making sure I really hit that point where the liner met the crease, just so we have no harshness there whatsoever. And then taking a white matte shadow and just kind of toning down the brow bone a little bit in case you took it up a little too far to your liking. So it's very easy to fix and control. Then I'm going to be going in and priming my face with my NYX Angel Veil primer. I am down to the bottom of this thing and I am struggling to get some out, as you can tell. And I am just going to be working this all over onto my skin and really pressing this into my face. I really just love the cushion this provides between my skin and my foundation, and I feel like it's a little bit more moisturizing than the Maroon primer I've been using, although I still love it, but I kind of didn't want such a matte look for this eye look and pairing today. And again, I am just cleaning up around the eye area. And then I am taking my Bobbi Brown Longwear Even Finish Foundation. I am in the color Warm Sand right now. It's actually maybe a tad too dark, but that's okay because I'd rather be just a little bit darker than a little bit lighter, because when you go back and highlight and all that, it really evens everything out. Plus, my face is kind of a little too pale to begin with, so it matches my arms and chest better with this shade. And just kind of buffing this all out onto my face. I am using one of these new brushes here. Have to admit, not too fond of it for foundation. I still would really prefer using my Bobbi Brown full coverage face brush for this, but it was a nice try, and trying something different is always good because you can kind of get to see what else is out there. But yeah, still kind of say that the full coverage face brush is my baby. And I kind of had some unpleasant friends show up on my face, so I'm just kind of going back and spot concealing there. And then I am taking my Bobbi Brown corrector in the shade Light Bisque, and I am just going to be hiding any under eye redness that I typically have underneath my eyes and around my tear duct, and just kind of making sure I conceal those before I go in and add my concealer. And then taking my favorite drugstore concealer, I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me. I forgot what shade this is in, but I want to say it's the lightest one they have. And I am just going to be doing this, and we're using it, I should say, as a little bit of a highlight. So underneath my eyes, center of my chin, bridge of my nose, and also the center of my forehead. Again, if your foundation is a little bit lighter than the rest of your body, or I'm sorry, if it's a little bit darker, using this highlighting technique will help just kind of even out that color and have a good balance to it, so you don't look too dark compared to the rest of your body. And I am just taking a little bit of a pointed tapered brush here that also came in that 10-piece set, and I am using this to kind of buff out the concealer. So really make sure you're pressing inward and then just making sure you go over those lines, just so there's not too big of a contrast from where your foundation ends and then the concealer starts, and just make sure you buff everything out nice and evenly. In all honesty, I think these brushes would be really good for contouring or cream contouring, because they have such precise angles and cuts that I think that's what they're typically made for. I couldn't remember the name, or I can't remember the name of what the set is called, but I want to say they're specifically kind of more geared towards the contouring process, because they're all cut with these angles that can really help get into like the small corners or the edges of your face. Then to set the under eye concealer, I am taking the pale yellow setting powder in my Bobbi Brown concealer kit and just kind of rolling one of my eye blender brushes just to prevent any creasing. Rolling the brush inward will really help set the concealer, and it won't let it settle into the fine lines or creases you have underneath your eye. And then just taking a bigger brush and using that same setting powder, I'm going to go over the other areas in my face where I had highlighted. Since I am oily, you're going to want to do this. And then I am just taking my Mary Kay Ivory Tube press powder and setting the other areas of my face where we did not highlight. If you're more on the drier skin type, feel free to skip this step. It is not necessary for you to be setting the rest of your foundation. You can if you want, maybe just lightly, but the more powder you add on, the drier you're going to look. But for me, I cannot go a day without setting the rest of my foundation, because then everything will literally just be sliding off my face within like probably the, I don't know, within the hour. So I just went back and finished my brows, and I am just kind of, you know, gluing them down in place with my Bobbi Brown Natural Brow Shaper in Mahogany. And then to finish off the eyes, I am taking my Bobbi Brown Longwear eyeliner, and this is in the shade Jet. It is just your pure black eyeliner, and I'm going to be lining my waterline kind of heavily just because we're going to want to really smudge this out. And then I'm also going to be tight lining those upper lashes just so there isn't any skin peeking through when we put our falsies. I am taking a fine, precise brush, and I am using the shade Rich Chocolate again from the Bobbi Brown eye palette, and I'm just going to make sure I am setting that waterline and really making sure the color is evenly distributed. And then I'm going to be going back and taking another smudge brush, but just picking up a little bit of that color Sonic and just kind of placing that more on the inner part of the lower lash line, just to add a little bit of a pop on the inner corner. And then going back with the shade Desert and the pencil brush, or a pencil brush I should say. Oh, I'm getting so tongue-tied today. And just kind of going over those edges. Again, for a look like this that's super smoky and it has a lot of color going on in it, you really want everything just to be really nice and well blended. And then I am taking my Mary Kay Ultimate Mascara and just coating my upper and bottom lashes before I go in and apply some falsies. And I'm so proud of myself. I actually stayed pretty good in frame here. I usually always like go a little bit out of frame, and okay, don't judge, I know I'm a little bit out in this shot, but come on, give your girl a break. So I'm applying these lashes. They are Pixie Luxe from House of Lashes. These are one of my new favorite lashes or styles that they have. I think they are so wispy and lightweight, but yet they add just the perfect amount of drama. And what I like about them for these look is that there is still enough open space and gap between the lashes. They aren't too heavily packed on to where they hide your eyeshadow look. You can still see through them and you can show off your beautiful and gorgeous eyeshadow. Then for some contouring, I am taking my Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Golden Light, and I'm taking this angled brush from that 10-piece set, and I gotta say this brush kind of impressed me the most just because I really liked it for sharp contouring. As you can tell, it really gets into the cut of my my cheekbone, so it's really helpful when you're really wanting to do like a strong contour, and that's kind of what I wanted for this look. So just typically putting that onto the hollows of my cheek and going in circular motions around up into my forehead and my temples, and of course bringing that contour down my jawline just to help even everything out. And as you can tell, even though my foundation was a little bit too dark at the beginning, everything with the highlight and contour evens out pretty nicely, right? So like I said, sometimes it looks a little bit crazy before it starts to look better. And then taking the smaller angled brush, I'm using this brush to contour my nose. Again, another perfect brush to use for precision contouring. Then I applied my Mary Kay blush in the shade Cherry Blossom. Ooh, try saying that 3 times. Then taking my Mary Luminizer from the Balm, I am just going to be highlighting my Cupid's bow and packing on a generous amount of highlight onto my high points on my cheeks. I really wanted a strong highlight. I don't know what I'm going through lately, but I'm kind of going through like this highlighting phase deal. So yeah. And then for the lips, I'm going to be mixing 2 colors. The first one is Tea Rose. I think they're not going to be making this shade anymore. I'm not too sure, but I know I got it on sale at CVS for like, I don't know, 75 cents. It was on crazy discount. And then taking a little bit of a lighter matte shade. This was Spirit. You guys know this if you follow me. I absolutely love this color. And this just gives your lips a fuller appearance when you apply these 2 together, especially focus that lighter color onto the center of your lips. And this is the completed look, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Please have fun recreating this, and until next time, I will catch you all later. Bye!